we're going to go ahead and put the red lens in place, which is the lowest power. So the red lens is the 4x power. It's also called the scanning power, right? So we're almost ready to look at something. So let's check again. Light is on, turned up. Stage is dropped. Condenser is raised. Iris diaphragm is open. And our red scanning lens is in place. You always start with that red scanning lens. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, always start with the red one. Okay. And you make sure that you've got your single circle, that this is positioned correctly. All right, and what we're going to look at today is fleas. These are dog fleas. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and give each person a flea on a slide. They're dead. So you're going to take the slide. You open your pinball flipper thing. You're going to place the slide in the corner of the mechanical silver holder. Place the flipper back. And then use the mechanical stage control. We're not going to look through this because this will drive you crazy. Trying to search for the flea is like looking for a needle in a haystack. So we're just going to use our eyeballs to put the flea above the circle of light, like that. So I didn't use the scope, I just positioned it using my naked eye. Okay, so your chance to get your flea on the stage in the jaws. It doesn't have to be crammed or jammed underneath anything. It just kind of just rests on the top of this surface, and so that it can glide around when you move it like this. All right, has everyone got their flea in the circle of light? Okay, so what we're going to do now is look through the scope and use the coarse focus to gradually raise the stage up. And as you do that, the flea, if you've got it in the middle, should magically appear before your very eyes. Okay, so let's see if we can make it work. So once you've got your flea in position and you're looking at him, you can try moving him around a bit. So use the mechanical stage and see how it makes him shimmy up and down and back and left and right. And the other thing we can do now is focus the microscope for our unique eyes. You probably have different eyes, and if you ever go to the opticians, you don't get the same prescription for both eyeball. So you can adjust for that on these microscopes. And it's a good idea to do that, because if you don't, after using it for a long time, you'll get a headache. So what you want to do is close your left eye. If you can't close it, just use a hand over it. And use the fine focus to focus the flea, one part of the flea. Pick a part, like one of his hairs or his mouth or his eyeball. Look at that and get that super crisp in focus using the fine focus only and your right eye. So we're going to use our right eye and make one part of the flea really sharp. Okay, once you've got that, you're going to close the right eye. And this time, do not touch the focusing knobs. Stay way away from them. Up here on the actual ocular itself, there's a ridge bit. You can twist this ocular. So we're going to use our left eye, look down, and focus the exact same part of the flea. So look at the same portion. If you were looking at a hair, look at the same hair, and get it really crisp for your left eye using the ocular. And once you've done that, you can open both your eyes again, and it should be in perfect focus for both eyeballs. And now you've set that difference, it's going to be good for the whole day. And once you've done that, you can open both your eyes again, and it should be in perfect focus for both eyeballs. And now you've set that difference, it's going to be good for the whole day. You don't have to change that again for each slide you look at. Once you've set that up, this is going to be your scope for the rest of the day. You don't have to readjust it. Go ahead and crank your microscope around to the next level of magnification. So we're going to move the nose piece, which way is that, counterclockwise, and click in the yellow lens, which is the 10 times lens. And now you can look down, and it may be blurry. You can use the fine focus to bring it back into focus. And now you'll definitely need to use the mechanical stage because you won't be able to see the whole flea at once. It'll be so big that you're going to have to, if you want to see its butt, it's going to be over here. You're going to have to move over here to see its head. One last magnification. We can increase up to the blue lens. Now, flip around to the blue lens and just stand back and look at the slide in the lens for a second. So when you have that blue lens in place, what can you tell me about it and the slide?
There's like no distance between
Really, really close together, right? Really close. So this is a very important item here. You get your specimen in focus roughly the right place by using the red lens. That's why you always start with that red lens. Then as you go up, all you need to use to tweak the focus is use the fine focus. You never touch the coarse focus using the yellow, and especially not using the blue lens. Because what would happen if I go ahead and use the coarse focus right now?
Crack goes the...
Yes. I'm going to move that stage up a lot, or maybe move it down, but I'll move it up, and I'm going to crunch those two together. There's very little clearance between the slide and the lens. And so when those two things come together, the best case scenario is that you're going to crack the slide. Those are a couple bucks. That's okay. The worst case scenario is that you scratch the lens up inside that blue lens, and these are like thousands. So, and we can't unscratch them. So when we're this close, we only ever use the fine focus just to kind of dial in our crisp image. Never crank that big dial, because that's a big problem. So, and you can see at this magnification for a flea, it's like overkill. It's so close in that you can hardly see anything.